Wow, I never thought I'd be talking about Leafy a day in my life, but as we Americans say, there is a first time for everything. And as it turns out, Leafy ended up trolling Destiny in probably one of the worst ways I could even imagine, because he ended up doing the unthinkable. He ended up actually getting under Destiny's skin. At least I'd say so myself, because it definitely looks that way. Especially when we get to see exactly what Destiny thinks of Leafy after the entire altercation. Now, how could something like this happen? One could only imagine. Maybe Leafy just woke up one day thinking, what's the next biggest thing I can do to get some fucking clout? That makes the most sense, because after all, he's a content creator, Destiny's a content creator. There's no other real reason as to why Leafy would go ahead and try and troll and harass this guy outside of trying to get his attention in order to use Destiny's platform in order to inflate his own platform. It's only natural, and that's honestly what happens when it comes to content creation. Especially because I'm not gonna lie, Destiny definitely has a good platform going for him. And with that being said, if Leafy were to get on there, it would only benefit him. So this completely started with him trolling Destiny on Twitter. Now, how could this guy be able to do this? Well, there's one community that always memes Destiny. I don't know how they meme him. They make fun of the fact that he is a cuck because his wife engages in an open relationship through their marriage. Meaning that she can talk to as many guys as she wants, and he can talk to as many girls as he wants. At least that's what you're led to believe, because let's be honest here, it's a lot easier for women to get into a relationship. The odds of a female being able to get with whoever she wants, whenever she wants, and have it whenever she wants, however she wants, is a lot higher than it is for a man, and that's just the facts. And this ended up pissing Destiny off, and if it didn't, I would definitely be surprised. Leafy's trolling got to a point as to when someone was asking Destiny about people he wouldn't want to collab with. Of course, Leafy was ended up being brought into a question, and Destiny responded with, he's a clout-hungry loser who's desperately seeking to reestablish himself online in the edgiest ways possible. I might have considered engaging with him if I was 21 again. Holy fuck, it's looking like Destiny's having no regrets here. Especially when he's bringing up the legal age to drink. It makes you think. I'd say try interviewing him drunk, because that might actually make for some great content. Now, how did Leafy really stir the pot this time, though? This all happens because Destiny is in an open relationship with his wife. Alright, I don't personally agree with open relationships, but hey, if that's the relationship, that's his choice to do what he wants. I wouldn't settle for that. That's just me personally. You guys already know my stance on this subject because I made a video about open relationships in the past. And I mean, hey, with that being said, I think now's as good a time as any to bring up what I think about an open relationship. I honestly think it's stupid, especially if you're married, and it completely defeats the purpose of a marriage, because why would I engage with somebody? Because it's supposed to be exclusivity. That's what I believe it to be anyway, because I think it determines a lot of value behind your partner. People are going to get upset over that. It is what it is. I don't really care. But hey, what I got to say is my wife is my wife, and it takes a lot of work, and it's a privilege to be able to engage in certain activities with her. And if other people are doing that, I just personally believe that that would be a slap in the face, to me at least. But hey, everybody's values are different, and we are open-minded to that on this channel. Anyway, you didn't come here for my own personal philosophy on relationships and stupid shit like that. You came here for Destiny and Leafy. So, after trying time and time again to get Destiny's attention, Leafy would take matters into his own hands and really try and cross the line. He would take advantage of what exactly he's able to do on Kick. So, he would end up streaming pictures of Destiny's naked wife. If that isn't something that's going to grind your gears, then I don't know what will. But in reality, I think it's pretty obvious and safe to say that Leafy should have never even been able to get his hands on these pictures. I don't know how or why he was able to get these pictures, but regardless of the circumstances, if a complete stranger is some way, somehow able to actually get the pictures, initially, you would actually think that Leafy would get this from her Fansly account, but as it turns out, she actually does not have any nudes on her Fansly account, and he would have probably got this from her history of doing any kind of explicit shit on the internet. So if that is something that's just going to happen, I don't think that anyone should be getting upset at Leafy for having this content that's being distributed in his possession. Yes, I will admit, his intentions are the main reason why I do think Destiny does deserve to actually be upset at Leafy, but should he actually be upset at Leafy for streaming that content? Honestly, no, because at the end of the day, this is something that he signed up for by being in that relationship with his wife. If she's going to make that kind of content and put that kind of content out there, even it being old should have definitely been taken into consideration, because regardless of the fact, if you really think about it, there shouldn't even be a single possibility as to why Leafy should have even had the photo to begin with. He can't be mad at people for looking at her content. Honestly, you kind of signed up for that at this point. And if Destiny can deal with that, then that's good for him. But I will say this, that when it comes to that entire situation, I personally would not want to be a part of anything like that, because for me, I just don't think I would want to deal with people looking at my naked wife. Call me insecure, call it what you want, but at the end of the day, I feel like regardless of however you want to view it, you could say that, oh, it's just a naked body, it's nothing, you know, they're not touching it or anything like that. I feel like that's something that only my eyes should be looking at. That's something that I want to myself. No, I'm not trying to look at my wife as a possession or anything like that. It's just, it goes to show how much I value her. But yeah, Destiny is definitely mad at Leafy for streaming his wife's nudes, but I don't really think he should be getting mad over that, because again, this is something that should have ultimately came to mind before marrying her. Now, if she did that after the marriage, I don't even think that there's any way, shape, or form that Destiny could really be upset, because this really does come with the territory at this point. And so I do think the frustration from Destiny here shouldn't only be aimed at Leafy, because really, this wouldn't be possible if she wasn't the one showcasing her body at all. Now, depending on how old this content is, depending on what kind of context in which all of this was uploaded, that could make a different story. But even so, he really should have expected this at the end of the day. I am all about respecting people's wives, you know. I can see why he would be upset. I mean, if he took offense to the insult about Leafy saying that his wife had pepperoni nipples, okay, I definitely understand that. But the fact that you'd be upset over him streaming it in the first place, I don't think that's really viable. But what the craziest thing is the very fact that these nudes weren't even on Destiny's wife's Fansly. So let me get this straight. If these nudes weren't even on Destiny's wife's Fansly, how were they able to even be obtained at all? That's the craziest part to me. Because apparently there are no nudes on Destiny's wife's Fansly. Now, I wouldn't know because I don't subscribe to that account or use that shit in the first place, but go figure. So if none of this is on Destiny's wife's Fansly, I can pretty much understand why he's upset. But really, if we want to dig deeper, she actually did end up, because again, it makes no sense for Leafy to have this image. But okay, when we dig deep, it turns out that she has a lot of adult content already established online. So really, I hate to say it because I really respect Destiny, but he doesn't really have a right to be upset because it just came with her, man. That's just something you just got to deal with. So it is what it is. You know, this is Destiny's wife at the end of the day, so I can understand why he's upset. So yeah, he definitely has every right to not deal with Leafy, but deplatforming him is pretty fucking harsh. Because if Destiny can already face and accept the fact that people are gonna keep making cuck memes about him all day long, then the cuckery should not be anything new to him. And with everything that's already begun, it really shouldn't have ended at Leafy, if you want to ask me. Now, if I were in Destiny's shoes, would I be upset? Yes. But then again, my wife is the one who has this content out there. And regardless of what context in which Leafy got this content, with that being said, do I really have a right to be upset at someone for having their hands on this same content? Definitely not. Now, you could argue that Leafy was doing this in bad faith. Then that really makes all the difference. But really, it kind of doesn't. Because whether or not it's in good faith or bad faith, it's just going to happen regardless, and Destiny would probably be upset regardless. Destiny trying to get Leafy banned ultimately gave Leafy what he wants, because to be honest, I wouldn't even be talking about Leafy right now if it wasn't for this entire situation. So maybe you can count that as an L. I don't really know, but it all depends on your viewpoint. But with that being said, Destiny is really going to have to try harder to fight back any of these trolls. Remember, never feed them.